Good day, Amherstburg. It's myself, Laura D'Alessandro.
And it's Ron Giofu back here on the airways of 107.9 FM, CKBG The Berg, for the Rivertown Times Week in Review.
Happy Canada Day, everybody. I know it's July 2nd, but we were off yesterday covering things downtown. I hope everybody had a chance to get out and celebrate all that Canada has to offer in this great home that we have. I got to spend some time with you, Ron, and I saw you out there yesterday, Terrence. It was a busy day for all of us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it heated up rather quickly. I found when the sun came up during the Canada Day run, which you were actually a part of, that once the sun came out, the temperature seemed to really go up. So
that was a nice touch.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just we're just bouncing around from the run, walk, and wheel to the events at Toddy Jones, to the opening ceremonies, to the bands in Navy Yard Park, and then the always popular fireworks, which I'm guessing several thousand people attended. It was a busy scene downtown trying to walk home. I know that, and I was just walking up Richmond Street, and crowds were, lines of cars were from the light at Richmond and Sandwich all the way down Richmond to Ramsey, and down Ramsey almost to Murray. So it was a busy scene downtown, but everyone seemed to have a good time, and I know people were loudly singing "Oh Canada" as I was walking back, and
that's nice.
It was a good day to first show some patriotism, wear your red and white. Yeah, it was a good day overall, and a lot of people seem to enjoy themselves, and we're going to get some photos up. We already have photos of the run on our social media sites. The rest of Canada Day are soon to follow, so keep your eyes and ears open for that.
And I did finish the run/walk, and I didn't cheat.
No, you didn't. I got your picture. Your picture is one of the ones up on social media. And
what did I come in? 5? What you told me?
I believe it was 574, which is not bad. I mean, there's about a little over 1,000 people in the run. So
well, look at that. I'm actually quite proud of myself. Before we started running, though, before everything kind of kicked off, the mayor was there, and I was talking to Michael. I said, "It's going to be a great day." He goes, "Yeah, it could be a little warmer." I'm like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah, it was warm enough for me. That's all I know. That just walking around doing my thing. And
for the man that stands at the end with the medals, I guess it didn't matter how hot it was for Mayor Prue.
Exactly. Yeah, get a little bit warm, stand in the shade for a couple of minutes, and come back out, have a bottle of water, and.
Yeah, kudos to Councillor Molly Allaire. That was a great event. She works really, really hard at that, and it draws a lot of people, and it's become quite the tradition for a lot of families. So kudos to her and the team and the volunteers that she had. That is not an easy feat to put something like that on. So thank you very much, Molly.
Yeah, I know her and her husband Dan work really hard at that. So talking to her afterward, and she's the one who gave me the estimate of over 1,000 people, and she said people came as far as England to take part in that. They had people all over Canada. You had people from the United States come in as they usually do, and just an all-around great event, and a lot of people seem to stay in the downtown core. I saw some of the Canada Day shirts as I made my rounds and during the course of the day, and overall it was hot out, but just a great day to be a Canadian.
Yes, it was. All right, turning our attention to the paper. On the front page of the paper this week is the 4th annual Fill the Bus. Buses were parked at Sobeys, Rob and Tina's No Frills, and the Walmart Plaza, all accepting donations for the Amherstburg Food and Fellowship Mission, Amherstburg Community Services, and Be the Light Outreach Ministry.
Yeah, Mercado was also involved.
I forgot, so sorry.
That's all right, because they didn't have a bus in their lot, but they still helped with some donations, and it goes to the 3 great charitable organizations in our community. I know volunteers were busy on Sunday afternoon after 4 of the buses went back to Encounter Church, and a lot of volunteers sorted and did all kinds of packing and sorting and getting things ready for the 3 local charities. And just a great night, a great day, 2 great days. As you can see, my brain hasn't quite defogged yet from a hot day yesterday.
Fried.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, so it was 2 days over the weekend, 9 to 4, both last Saturday and last Sunday. Kudos to all the volunteers that came out. I know Lori Hatton is one of the key volunteers that helps organize everything, and Jasmine Boulder from Be the Light Ministries is really a big help. You had volunteers from ACS. You had people from the mission out. A lot of folks that just came out just to give back to their community. A lot of people from Be the Light Ministry, just folks that want to help their community. And as you said, it goes to the Amherstburg Food and Fellowship Mission, Amherstburg Community Services, and Be the Light Outreach Ministry. And I know all 3 of these organizations could also use volunteers all year round. So I know the mission is really in need of some volunteers. I know the other 2 agencies won't turn you away either. So make sure you check it out if you want. Keep giving back to your community, and they need all the help they can get, and there's always a need. So please look into giving back. For those wishing to still donate via e-transfer, and they got over $2,000 so far, You can send your e-transfer to info@encounteraberg.ca. So feel free to, you can still financially contribute. So that's info@encounteraberg.ca. It goes right to Encounter Church, and they're able to give out tax receipts. If you still want to contribute, you still can.
We touched on it a bit last week, but we'll hit on it again this week. Town Council met last Tuesday night. Things on the docket that night were the signing bylaw and the issue of golf carts.
Yeah, the sign bylaw was hotly debated, and a lot of businesses are saying, hey, you know what, why do we have to take our signs down? They've been there for years. They're not bothering anyone. It's a way we can communicate to the community and get some foot traffic. And council did make an amendment to that bylaw. Again, it was a lengthy debate. We had the full story in this week's RTT. So make sure you check that out. It's both in print and online at www.rivertowntimes.com. And the business community was frustrated was a good word, and it was kind of sad to see, at least I thought so. I mean, a lot of these businesses were there a few months ago for the issue of business licensing. Now they're back over the sign bylaw. So, for my own personal opinion, I wouldn't mind seeing everyone kind of get together at some point and kind of put their heads together when these types of issues come up. The town says there was an educational process, but somewhere along the way, at least as some of the business owners, the messaging must have got missed. So whatever was done, let's add on to it. Let's keep on going with the education process to make sure everyone is on the same page here. So it's the town and its business community at the end of the day needs to be on the same page on issues. There's always going to be things that need to be worked out and ironed out, but let's keep enhancing the educational component of it. Whatever you did, great so far, but maybe we need to add a little bit more. So let's just keep working at it and just keep everyone on the same page when it comes to sign bylaws, business licensing, all that sort of thing. I know they had workshops on the business licensing after the fact, but let's just keep working at it and keep everyone in the loop, keep everyone informed. I know there's efforts being made to be transparent, but let's keep hashing things out and keep working at it. And hopefully I haven't repeated myself too much, but I think you know what I'm trying to say.
I think so, and I think we're all hot and tired, so we have some sympathy for you, Ron.
I know.
Also, what was talked about at council was the issue of golf carts.
And 3 more neighborhoods in the Malden Lakefront area are going to be requested for the provincial pilot project. I know Boisblanc Island, also known as Boblo Island, has been talked about, and actually they're more than talked about. The province has given their approval for it. Now the province is trying for 3 more areas. So we've got that story in this week's RTT. Another story from council is the Heritage Conservation District. That's been approved. And again, that was another debated issue. It was a 6-1 vote to go ahead with that. And we got the full story in this week's RTT, and you can find out who said what and who voted in favor and who wasn't in favor and the reasons why. Again, full stories in this week's RTT. We pick up a print edition. Our driver Louise is heading out, and she's doing a great job, and she's filling our boxes in Essex, Harrow, and pick up a copy of the print edition or visit us online, www.rivertowntimes.com.
Last week was the official ending of the school year. North Star and Villanova both held their grade 12 graduations. I know you took in the North Star grad that was held here at the high school, and our freelancer was out at the WFCU for the Villanova graduation.
So thanks to Fred Groves for heading out to the WFCU, and I believe he said over 300 people. I want to say 306. We have the number in the story in this week's RTT that got their diplomas from St. Thomas of Villanova, and that was last Wednesday night. So great job, Wildcats, and congratulations and best of luck on your future. And the following night, last Thursday night, I was out at the Libro Center for the North Star High School, and I want to say about 176, I believe I counted. Not not as they crossed the stage, it was counted up in the program. Well, it didn't have like one of those clickers going.
All your
1,
fingers.
2. Yeah. So North Star graduated, and a lot of awards for both schools were handed out. A lot of scholarships. I know at North Star alone, I believe the figure was over $400,000. I think that ended up in bursaries, scholarships, and entrance awards. So to both schools and to every other school for that matter. I know there's Amherstburg kids who go to La Jeunesse, so congratulations to them as well. And so to each and every school, congratulations and best of luck on your future endeavors. I know the elementary schools, I think we mentioned it last week, had their graduation, so they're entering new chapters of their lives as well. Even the little folks who had their SK grads and are heading into grade 1. Teach every one of you, congratulations, best of luck on your futures, and we know you're going to do well, and keep the next generation going and do a great job for us into the future.
And also just keep in mind that schools are out. So you will see kids in the park, riding bikes, going for walks. So just be mindful when you're out driving and keeping an eye out for the little ones and the big ones too, right? So we want everybody to have a safe, happy summer. The AMA Sportsman Association held their annual walleye tournament on Sunday.
1,000 tickets were sold, and it was another busy scene at the AMA Sportsman Association at Low Side Road on Sunday afternoon. And in case you drove by and wondered why all the cars were on the shoulder while the parking lot was packed, that's what was going on, the annual walleye tournament wrap-up. The AMA does a great job. It's 100% payout, and they, in case you're wondering how they make their money, it's through the beverage and food sales that day. And again, a lot of the big fish this year were reported, and many over the 30-inch mark, where I believe are measured. We have the results on page 11 of this week's issue of the Rivertown Times. So make sure you pick up your copy and check it out, who won and who won what. And some cash prizes were awarded. And congratulations to all the big fish winners, all the prize winners, and everyone who was out of the AMA. It was a fun time for all, and another warm day, but that's okay. Everyone was having a good time, and it's just always a fun day out at the AMA. And so I was out checking that out before I went back to fill the bus. We got the complete story in this week's issue of the Rivertown Times and under the sports section of our website.
I was just thinking about the date. I know we talked about it here last week, that the Boblo dock was scheduled to have come down last week and it didn't, but they're talking today is the day.
I believe so. I got to head out there later on and hopefully snap some pictures. As it was pushed back, last update I had was July 2nd, which is, of course, today. So hopefully they get that out of the water soon. I mean, a lot of residents are wondering about it and would like to see that gone. As we all know, those of us who've seen it, it's twisted up and just decaying rapidly. And
much like you.
Pretty much, yeah. No argument there. And congratulations, by the way, on your 574th place finish in the Canada Day Walk. But at any rate, yeah, the Boblo dock hopefully will be coming down starting today and continuing this week. And so we'll be keeping our eyes and ears open for that as well.
All right, turning our attention to the weekend, the Saltwater Moon, put on by the Heritage Colchester, begins on July 3rd. You were out for a little preview of that last week. Could you give us maybe a little inside scoop as to what we could expect for that performance?
Yeah, it's another two-person play. It's always an intimate environment. It's at Christchurch in Colchester. That's on 190 Bagot Street in Colchester. Not to be confused with the Christchurch here in Amherstburg. It's the church in Colchester that is hosting the play. That's right across from the Colchester Schoolhouse that they're raising money for through the play to try to restore. And it's, again, Saltwater Moon. It's starring Jackson Balint and Ocean Oliveira. You may remember them from last year's production, and directed by Lionel Walsh. They've been working on it for, I think, as of about 3-4 weeks now, and I was out there last week, and as of last week, it was about 3 weeks they'd been working on it, and they open up, this is opening weekend, starts Thursday night, and continues Friday, Saturday, and I believe there's a show Sunday afternoon, and shows the following weekend. But the ad on page 15, and story in this week's RTT, as well as on the website. So check it out and support a worthwhile cause. And like I said, it's a pretty intimate atmosphere. It's just a small group, but the play is not far from you. It's the actors are pretty much right there, so to speak, only just a few feet from you. And it's a fun evening. And I know I've attended in the past. I hope to attend it in the future, this coming weekend to be precise, and provide more coverage. So check it out. And again, a preview story in this week's RTT along with an ad.
Gibson Gallery is hosting their closing event for their latest exhibit, Centered, a Windsor Essex pottery exhibit. It ran from June 24th to July the 6th. The closing reception is going to be this Sunday from 1 to 3. It's free admission or donations accepted, so that'll be fun. Are you going to check that out, Ron? I
will be there. It should be a good afternoon. The Gibson Gallery always does great exhibits and do a lot for our community with art classes and all kinds of stuff. And obviously their big event is coming up in late August, Art by the River. But getting back to the present, the closing reception for the Centered exhibit, as you say, is Sunday from 1 to 3. So make sure you check it out. Head down to the gallery, and costs you nothing to go on in and check out some good artwork.
Well, we have to make mention that today's a big day for you and I and Dominic. It's the 2nd anniversary of us taking over ownership of the Rivertown Times. I can't believe it. 1, that we're in business, and 2, we're still friends.
Exactly, yeah. And
and I'm still married. Look at that.
Exactly, yeah. We got an ad on page 9, and you get to see even more stories about official play-in meetings, what's coming along for the art crawl, and all kinds of stuff. The Lemonade Brigade photo, and then there we are. So happy 2nd anniversary to us, and it's been a good 2 years, I would say, so far, and we're learning as we go, and I think we've learned a lot so far, but we want to just thank the community. I mean, we're not here without the community support. So thank you to the Amherstburg community. Thank you to surrounding communities for picking up and enjoying our paper. Thank you to all our advertisers, and you really help us out a lot. And so we're grateful, and you get to see what we've been up to for the last couple of years, and especially over this past year. So again, thank you. We are grateful. We appreciate the community support, and we look forward to serving you well into the future.
Yeah, and this year also marks 30 years of the Rivertown Times. So in our little ad here on page 9, we thank those that came before us. Obviously, Ron and I are not the founders of the Rivertown Times. I feel like we're just stewards of it for this portion of time, and hopefully we'll pass it on to somebody else down the road. But thank you to those that believed in it, put it together, and worked so hard to get to the RTT where it is today. And like Ron said, we couldn't do this without the community, without our friends here at the radio station, and everybody that's taken time to believe in us, our graphic designers, our freelancers, our proofreaders, our drivers, our carriers, everybody that's ever been a part of the Rivertown Times. We thank you, and we're proud to carry on this legacy together.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go home and take a nap.
Yeah,
Maybe go for a swim in my new pool. Or
I second the motion, yeah.
Just call it a day, call it a week. All right, Amherstburg, have a great day. Stay cool.
Have a great day. Have a great week. And we'll see you back here on the airwaves of 107.9 FM The Berg next week at 12 noon, and the replay at 4:30 p.m.